Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633 and today we're taking a look at another Power Rangers Dino Super Charge Zord review. This time we're going to take a look at the Oviraptor Zord with Dino Charger. Now the Oviraptor Zord is a Bandai of America exclusive Zord, and Bandai of America has done a really nice job creating new versions of the Zords that did not have legendary guardians from Zyudenchi Koryuger. Now the Oviraptor is the same mold mostly, except for a few areas. The tail is heavily retooled. The head and the arms are heavily retooled. The main body, though, is something we've already seen in the past, which we're just going to take a quick look between the molds. We have a look at the Parazord, and we also have a look at the Raptor Zord, since they pretty much use the same body as a basis. So, besides the two parts, most of the transformation and features are pretty much the same as the other two Zords. However, the main weapon feature is what actually makes this one of the coolest Zords in the line. Before we take a look at the Oviraptor Zord itself, we're going to take a look at the box. And unfortunately, mine was pretty messed up, but at least the toy itself was fine. It has a picture of the Oviraptor Zord in this really cool CG artwork. We have a CG look at the back, which looks like they just took the toy and made a CG artwork of it, since there is no actual Zord footage for it. And it just shows that it works with the other Zords. So that's pretty much it. The Zord comes with a fossil version of the Oviraptor Charger. It has 4 sides as normal, as it goes to fossil and back to energized. The sounds are going to be the same as we've seen with all the other versions of the Charger, but we're just going to quickly go over it.
Dino Charger. Engage. Energize. Unleash the power. Oviraptor.
And that's pretty much it for the sound. We're just going to take the battery out and look at the features of the Zord itself. Now the Zord's articulation is the exact same we've seen with both the Raptor and Parazords. The hands can move back and forth a bit, and so can the front claw pieces, but thanks to the newly retooled fin pieces here on the, well, not the fins, the feather pieces that are attached to the arms, it is a bit hindered. The legs also have the same amount of movement. However, this does become a problem when you transform it into Zord mode. Its main feature is when you put in the Charger, the back piece of his tail will extend and become a crossbow. And what's actually cool is the actual firing mechanism is actually on a different piece here. What I thought when I originally seen the photos is that when you put in all the Charger all the way, I thought it was supposed to shoot it just like that. However, I do like the fact that you can actually put in the Charger all the way without having the problem with the missile firing. To fire the missile, all you need to do is just press this switch here, and it's actually a really tight fit. So when you just shoot the missile, which I'm actually going to quickly do here, which I don't normally do, and that's only because it doesn't fire very far, you press it, and fires. It doesn't go very far, but it does what it needs to do. But that's pretty much it for the the Oviraptor Zord on its own. However, it can combine with the Zords in the line to activate, I guess, its own type of combinations. Anyways, I'll be back. Anyways, we've got a bunch of Zords here, and now we're going to just do some combinations. As I mentioned earlier, for some reason, due to the way that the back pieces are designed, it is kind of annoying to actually fully transform it properly. Because, since it does utilize the same combination and transformation features as the Raptor and Parazords, unfortunately when you move the leg, as you can see, the back piece alone gets in the way of the combination, and there isn't really a way to extend this, unfortunately, or remove it by the looks of it. It looks to be a molded-in piece, even though it is a separate piece, as you can see the little crack areas there. So, unfortunately, you kind of need to put this over the leg, and that is really annoying, and sometimes it does pop off, so you need to be careful with that. And then, to fully transform it, we're just going to collapse it as normal, which could be a little tricky, once again, due to the previous mentioned problem. And there we have the combination fully activated. We're just going to put back in the charger. And we're just going to quickly go with, I guess, the Spinozord first. So when you just plug this in, we have the crossbow formation like so. You do need to play around with the feather pieces in order to get into place. We're just going to quickly bring over the tail piece so we can just finalize this combination in this form. And there we have, I guess it will be the Spinozord Oviraptor Parazord formation. Obviously, since this won't be in the show, this isn't actually an official form by any means, but it does what it needs to do. We're just going to quickly detach this tail piece, since we're going to take a look of it on the standard Dino Charge Megazord next. It combines the exact same way, and it works really nicely, actually. When putting on the crossbow formation, I think it looks really cool on the Zord itself, and I think Bandai of America did a really nice job creating a very unique feature to the Zord. We're going to detach this and quickly take a look of it on the Dino Charge Megazord. It doesn't really fit very well due to the way that the arm is, unfortunately. So you do need to move it just a bit in order to get into place. And I guess it works really nicely, except the colors don't really match very well with the white and purple body of the Zord. And it can obviously also attach with the Dino Charge as well. And I think it works pretty interesting with it because since it has the Western motif, as it is with the other combinations, now it's got a full-on crossbow. And I think that works really nice, except for the fact when you do put it up, unfortunately, as you can see, it does cause the Dino Charge to be pretty heavy on the arm. Because unfortunately, unlike the other three Zords, it's just not as stable, causing the Zord to kind of fall over. So that's pretty much it for all the combinations for the Zord. The Zord can work on both sides, though, and I guess we could just quickly show how it looks like on the Dino Charge, just to have an example. And it's cool that you can actually interchange all the Zords, even if they weren't marketed specifically on that formation. Now, while I can't say this Zord is a must-get for all Power Ranger collectors, I think this is a really nice Zord to get a hold of. It works nicely as a Bandai of America exclusive toy in conjunction with the other Zords, and I think it works nice for what it needs to do. The crossbow formation is actually really nice looking on pretty much all the Zords. And I think this is still rather worth it, especially if you're a fan of Dino Charge and Dino Super Charge. Anyways, I got this from Target for around $16.99 before tax, and I gotta say it's pretty worth it for the new retooling and a lot of the cool features that the Zord has when combined. But anyways, please comment, subscribe, and check out Hirotaku and Hero Club. Please check me on Twitter under DarkOn633, and please check down the other channels down below. I'll be back to bring the Archelon review next, but for now, I'll be sending you to bye.